You have no idea how happy it makes Senator Gobi and I to be here at the Quabbin where we're not discussing slithering reptiles. So thank you very much for that. Thank you to the wonderful job that the band does here every single year. They lift this ceremony and these events, so a round of applause for our musicians. They do a great job. And a very special thank you to the men and women that are in our color guard, that are in our honor guard. We actually started events yesterday, Senator Gobi and I, and they'll be going right through the entire weekend following us around on these Memorial Day events. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for what you're doing and for being here today. And, you know, Senator Gobi and I, we typically start our Memorial Day weekends in the classrooms. And it's always wonderful to talk to young students about Memorial Day and try to express to them the importance of what this holiday means. And I think you've heard me say this before, when I always like to try and catch the kids and ask how many of them put their hands up if they're going to be in school on Monday. And I usually catch maybe about half of them or so. And I tell them they're not going to get extra credit for that, but to explain to them what the real meaning of that day off is. And you know, if you consider the amount of work, the amount of time, the amount of dedication and commitment that the American veteran puts in, not only to what their responsibility is all over the world, but the responsibility that they show within their communities to help educate and to be a part of the important things that our cities and towns are all about. It's something pretty special. If you look at the history of this country over 200 years and consider what those men and women that have lost their lives have done, they've prevented dictatorships from dominating our world. They've stopped genocides. They've stopped terrorist attacks that could have been 1,000 times worse than the one we knew on 9/11. All because of that sacrifice that they have made and they will continue to make as long as this country stands proud and stands tall. But one of those obligations, as Senator Gobi had mentioned, that we have is to take advantage of the opportunity that sacrifice is all about. And what's really important is to educate that next generation that comes forward, to tell them about what that sacrifice means, but that they also have an obligation to continue to move forward and strive to do better than the generation before that, to use those tools to the best of their ability, and to guarantee that we promote that freedom, that democracy, that voice, and most importantly, to stand up for those who cannot stand up for themselves. That's what makes this country great. For all of those things that the American veteran has given us, the things that we take for granted every single day of our lives. I was telling students the other day that when they woke up in the morning, they were lucky to be able to sleep in their own bed, take a bus to school, come together in a Memorial Day assembly, speak their mind in the classroom, even question their teacher when they didn't agree with a point that was being made. Can you imagine in other places in the world where society is not allowed to do those wonderful things that we cherish every single day of our lives? And there's a message behind that. And we must remember that that ultimate sacrifice has been made since the first day that this country began. And it will continue to be made. We honor them today, but to live by that example of what they give us is the most important thing that we can do on Memorial Day and every single day that we live in the greatest country in the world. God bless those that have served, and may God bless the greatest country, the United States of America. Thank you.